In this chapter, we will keep talking about the analysis phase. A previous chapter contains two main steps: requirement determination, as we studied in chapter 6. It includes the traditional methods like interview, group interview, individual interview, observation, and document analysis, and any other new methods like joint application design and agile and prototyping methodologies. In this chapter, we will start with the next step of the analysis phase, which includes requirement structuring. Requirement structuring, there is two types of requirement structuring. The first one is process modeling using DFD, and the second one in the next chapter will be about conceptual data modeling using ERD. So process modeling is graphically represent the processes that capture, manipulate, store, and distribute data between the system and its environment and among system components. The purpose of process modeling is to utilize information gathered during requirement determination. The processes and data structures are also models. So we will focus our study into the processes, into the external environment, and how the data will be processed inside our system. So we will talk about the input, output, and the processing inside. As we always say, we have to study all the existing system, and then we need to study the new system. In order to find any limitation in the existing system, in order to find the benefits, to keep them and ignore any kind of limitation. So we have to develop context diagram and DFD for the existing system, and then we have to develop the context diagram and DFD for the new system, so that we can understand any limitation and keep all the benefits we need into the new world. Okay. In the data flow diagramming, we have 4 segments to be used in developing the DFD. The first one here is the process. Process means action. What actions need to be done in order to produce our output? Data store means that we have our data at rest inside our system. All the data stored here will be represented as an entity or as a table in the conceptual data model. So this is the relationship between the data flow diagram and the ER diagram. Any data inside this data store will be represented as an entity or as a table in the ER diagram later on. Source and sink, both of them are external entities. The source means where we can get our data, and the sink means where we have to send our data after the processing. So they are external entities. They don't have any relationship, or they don't have any processing inside our system. We just get the data from the source, and then we have to send the data back after processing to the sink. Data flow, they are the arrows which represent the flow of information from one process to another process. Okay. As more details, process, work or actions performed on data inside our system. Data store, data at rest, which is inside the system. As I said before, it will be converted into entity or into a table in the conceptual data model. Source and sink, both of them are external entity that's origin or destination of the data outside the system. They don't have any processing inside our system. We just get the data from them and then send back the data after processing to the sink. Data flow, they are only arrows depicting the movement of the data, where the data goes from, and context said that we have only one input and we also have 3 outputs to the system. So let's here we have process 4.0 produce management report. How many inputs? I have one input here and then I have another input here, and I only have one output. So process 4.0 has two inputs and one output. So let's go back to level 1 diagram and let's check. Only have level 2 diagram for process 4.3. We don't have level 2 diagram for process 4.1 and 4.2. So it depends on the process, how much details we have about every process. Decide I need to decompose more, or I cannot decompose more. So I will stop here. Feel free to ask any questions and send me emails. I will add the discussion board so that you can send your comments, so you can send your questions, and if you have any concerns about this kind of video, just send me and we can change on other classes. So see you then, see you in next class. We will keep talking about data flow diagram. Have a good day.